Welcome back. Joining us on the show now is Anish. He's Global Head for Energy, Natural Resources and Chemicals at KPMG. Anish, hi, good to have you on CNBC-TV18. And every time you have the crude oil prices being so volatile, it just highlights the importance of energy transition. What do you say on where we are right now? We all have our targets in India and globally as well.
Well, the energy transition is on a very, very delicate balance. The reality is that 82% of the energy even now comes from traditional fuels, and yet we are trying to make a very, very quick transition to cleaner energy, particularly renewables. So that is always going to be fraught with challenges, and some of these recent geopolitical challenges which have been coming are just putting the system very quickly out of balance and causing the volatility. So I think we have to get used to volatility. We have to live with it and take it as it comes.
Clearly. I know you do a lot of work in various sectors when it comes to energy, Anish, but just to get a sense on the investment opportunities or the targets that Globe is looking at, or India for that matter as well, to ensure that we meet our targets on time, what would you say is the requirement or the need for that?
This is one of the largest capital reallocations which we have seen in modern history, because energy demand keeps growing, but we are also transforming at the same time from traditional fuels to renewable energy. So if you look at the broader picture, it's about 4.5 trillion per year for the globe from now till 2050. And about 10% of that will be required in India. So you can see that both for the globe as well as for India, it's a major, major capital reallocation which is happening. The opportunity for India, of course, is huge, because one is, of course, the project development opportunity which comes along with it. And given that India is going to be a major energy consumer, increasingly so in the next 2 decades, given our economic growth, but also it's a great manufacturing opportunity. And I think that's something which we have to look to seize.
Anish, with that also comes in ensuring that there are those high priority areas identified as well. So when you look at the Indian markets per se, whether it's about infrastructure, getting the right technology or the right skill for that matter, where would you say we stand?
So we have started the transition. I think the journey, and I think our startup innovation ecosystem is next to no one's. So it's really at the top of the game. What we need to do, and that's what we are talking about in our annual event Enrich, which is currently underway, is to bring all of that together: the industry, the startup ecosystem, the academia, and the policy framework together. Currently, they operate very well, but in different buckets. So that osmosis between them needs to happen. But I'm hopeful that in the next 3 to 4 years, we are going to have the right platforms for those to come together and really create that acceleration, the momentum which we need for India to emerge as a leader in the clean energy space, not just in project deployment, but also in manufacturing. And there's a unique opportunity because of the geopolitics, the China concerns around China that the world has and that India has. I think there's a great opportunity to pivot to a large-scale manufacturing environment along with the providing energy.
So when you say that, and when you do believe that India could be in the right position there, how do you see India playing to its strengths right now? Would that support coming in because of the investments, the partnerships that India would see, or the policy measures?
The first starts with demand. If you have demand, then the world is attracted to you. And I think we have demand, and we are going to have demand for next 2 decades for sure at this kind of growth rate which we are seeing. Along with that, India has been a magnet for capital. I don't think capital has been a major concern. Of course, there are risks which are of newer kinds, so capital has to get comfortable with risks. But I would argue the India risks are actually lower than much of the rest of the world. So capital will get attracted. What we do need is the right system of incentives and also facilitating some of those projects, because these are complex projects. When you play the whole value chain, these are quite complex value chains. So that's where the policy environment becomes very important for ensuring that investments come in, skills are available on the scale which is required, the innovation ecosystem is co-opted into the manufacturing ecosystem, as I mentioned earlier. So several things which have to kind of fall in place. But I'm very positive because I can already see a lot of good work has happened and a lot of elements are starting to come together.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining in. And Manisha, thanks for giving us that update as well. Well, for the market, it is looking pretty good.